Bringing together our work from the past few weeks, we now have NPCs who walk, talk, interact with objects and each other.
Are you ready to order?
Yes, I believe so. What beverage do you suggest?
Apple juice.
Sounds good to me. I'll have a glass.
And to eat?
I believe the grilled salmon is on special today.
Today, we're sharing a
Yes,
first
it is.
look at the new Roblox experience you can visit to watch our characters in action, NPC Theater. I'll start by giving you a tour of the theater, and then we'll talk about the 3 training areas we focused on for Clementine's performance: spatial reasoning, personality, and interacting with props. With our commitment to working in public, we wanted to create a publicly accessible space where anyone can watch and interact with our NPCs. Another way for you to get a sense of what we're building while we're still in the middle of building and refining it. Players spawn in the lobby and make their way into the theater for the show. For this initial iteration, the theater is set up with a restaurant set and props. Future iterations will introduce sets and characters from different eras and genres, letting players mix and match to highlight how characters adapt to novel situations. Ultimately, Clementine needs to be good at 2 things: acting and improvising. As an actor, she needs to know how to navigate 3-dimensional spaces, to take direction on which personality traits she should exhibit, and to use the objects in her environment creatively to bring a scene to life. As an improviser, she'll need to learn how to adjust those behaviors in response to player choices. For this first show in NPC Theater, we decided to focus on that first capability, Clementine as an actor, enabling her to play her part, a waitress in a restaurant, opposite another AI actor. Our goal was to show that we could randomly generate a story set in a restaurant, and then train characters to bring that story to life in the 3-dimensional space. Our first challenge in bringing plans from page to screen was training characters to navigate the set of the theater. Roblox has a pathfinding system that allows characters to move around a virtual space, but it's optimized for fighting games where characters need to race around large environments and realism of movement isn't that important. To adapt Roblox's pathfinding system to a realistic restaurant simulation, we needed to teach Clementine and her co-stars 3 specific rules. 1, you need to be close to an object to interact with it, but not too close. Clementine has a concept of what's within arm's reach. 2, you need to be in earshot of a person to converse with them. Clementine knows that to take the customer's order, she needs to be standing relatively close to them. 3, not everything is parkour. Without this rule, characters sprinted across the space, jumped on the furniture and each other. Now Clementine knows to walk, not run across the room, and she knows that the most direct path to her goal is not always the best path, particularly if it involves jumping on the bar or another character's head. Clementine, like an actor, knows that there are different ways to interpret the same role. A creator building a restaurant game might envision a sarcastic waitress who gets angry at every customer, or a peppy one who's enthusiastic about every dish on the menu. A player's experience in those 2 restaurants would be dramatically different. At central casting, the creator is the director. Clementine will take your direction on how to play the part. In this first example, I directed Clementine to be polite, helpful, an ideal waitress. This results in a scene that pretty closely simulates what restaurant dining is typically like. But a different approach to direction yields a much quirkier scene, where Clementine vacillates between being over-the-top polite and telling the customer that they should eat the garbage to cure a stomachache. In our last video, we talked about making the environment interactive, and I demoed my panda interacting with props. But it's not just players and pandas that can manipulate objects in the environment, NPCs can too. Clementine knows that she needs to bring a menu from the menu box over to the customer so they can order, that food and drinks can be served to the customer, that the register creates bills. But both Clementine and the customer also know to use objects in their environment creatively. Clementine has learned that if the customer asks for Tums and nothing like that exists in the restaurant, she can try to come up with a different solution, offering them the garbage to see if that solves the problem. In future episodes, we'll dive deeper into spatial reasoning and personality direction. In the meantime, NPC Theater is live on Roblox. Hundreds of players have already checked out the show. We hope you will too. I will put the link in the description for this video. It's worth noting that while you cannot yet join Clementine on stage, Canny players can figure out a way to get on top of the stage to view the action from above. And if you happen to spot a director's chair while you are in the space, that just might be a hint about what you'll be seeing in an upcoming video.